Hey guys, welcome back to Baking with Matisse. For this week's video, I wanted to test out another Great British Bake Off recipe. And so this week, I'm going to be baking Paul Hollywood's chocolate babka. In case you don't know what babka is like a swirled chocolate bread. I love eating babka, but I've never tried making it myself before, so I'm really excited to test out this recipe. To make Paul's chocolate babka, I grabbed 65 grams of blanched, lightly toasted hazelnuts, 100 grams of unsalted butter, 150 grams of sugar, 80 grams of 70% good quality chopped dark chocolate, and 40 grams of cocoa powder for the filling. For the dough, I needed 275 grams of all-purpose flour, 5 grams of instant yeast, 25 grams of sugar, a half teaspoon of salt, 2 beaten eggs, 50 milliliters of milk, 80 grams of cubed and softened unsalted butter, and lastly 100 more grams of sugar for the syrup. I started by roughly chopping half of my hazelnuts and finely chopping the rest. Then I melted the butter, sugar, and chocolate together in a pan over low heat, stirring until smooth. I removed that from the heat and stirred in the cocoa powder and transferred it to a bowl to cool. After that, I made the dough by putting the flour in the bowl of a stand mixer fitted with the dough hook and adding the salt and sugar to one side of the bowl and the yeast to the other. I made a well in the flour and poured in the eggs and milk, then mixed on low speed for 2 to 3 minutes until a firm dough formed. One piece at a time, I added the softened butter to the dough with the mixer going on medium speed, making sure the butter was fully incorporated before adding the next piece. I continued mixing on medium speed through the sticky stage until a smooth dough ball formed. I lightly floured my table to roll out the dough. This needed to be rolled out into a 30 by 40 centimeter rectangle with the long end closer to you. I spread the cooled chocolate filling mixture over the dough and sprinkled the hazelnuts on top. I rolled it with the long end closest to me, then turned it so that the short end was closer to me. This part seemed a bit more complicated. I had to slice it down the middle, then make the slice ends face up, seal the two ends together, and then twist the two strands together. I moved it to a parchment-lined pan and then let it rise covered for 1 to 2 hours until it had doubled in size. I baked this at 375 degrees for 15 minutes before lowering the oven temperature to 350 for 30 more minutes. While it was baking, I made the simple syrup by combining the rest of the sugar with 100 milliliters of water in a saucepan and heating it for 5 minutes. Once a knife inserted into the babka came out clean, I took it out of the oven and immediately brushed the syrup over the warm babka. Alright, so I have a piece of the babka here, and let's give this a taste. You get great chocolate flavor throughout, and those little pops of hazelnut really add some texture. This bread is really made or broken based on the quality of chocolate you use, so if you're going to be testing this, be sure you use really good quality chocolate, because it will make a difference. Overall, this is definitely one of the best babkas that I've had, and it's not just your average supermarket babka you see on the shelf. It was very time consuming to make because it took me about 3 hours in total from start to finish, but I would say it's totally worth it because this is super delicious. Thank you all so much for watching this week's video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what other popular desserts going around the internet you want to see me test. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.